Good morning, it's Let It Go and Let It Grow for Friday, May 15th, 2026. What are we letting go of today? And we are letting go of the Queen of Cups. So both of the cards today are cups, so there's a lot of emotion coming in. They are emotion, intuition, healing, and heart energy for both of these cards today. So the Queen of Cups is Cancer energy with a Scorpio influence, and we are dealing with Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces energy today in the zodiac, which are the water signs and the water elements. We are letting go of the Queen of Cups, which is emotional overgiving and people pleasing. So this is a theme. We had something similar yesterday about people pleasing. So this is basically taking stock again of who you are and what makes you happy, what lights you up. When we're constantly behind the eight ball trying to make others happy and not ourselves, what ends up happening is that we become out of balance, and that can make us, believe it or not, extremely emotional. We can lash out at people because we don't feel our needs are being met. There are times that we will get upset because we don't feel people are actually listening to us and not taking proper direction from what we are doing. And that can leave us really, really emotionally depleted and on the edge of not being understood, not being heard, and devalues us in our own mind and in our own emotions. So let go of absorbing everyone else's emotions that are around you as well. So as we're dealing with our own emotions, sometimes our fields get lowered and we end up bringing in everything on top of us, especially if you're an empath or a highly sensitive person, an HSP, highly sensitive person, or somebody who's very, very sympathetic. You end up, the typical empath, you end up bringing other people's emotions, problems, issues, basically crap into your own life. So you have to learn these boundaries and these protections for yourself so you don't end up absorbing things that are around you. I tend to be personally also a physical empath, meaning that if I'm working on a client with a particular issue, I can sometimes feel pain in my own body in those areas. Which can be helpful because I know where to go. But in other terms, it's remembering to do the cutoff of energy at the end of a treatment, or setting up those boundaries in everyday's life that we don't keep that energy absorbed into us, which can cause problems later. You have to learn those boundaries to keep that away from you. You have enough on your own plate with your own emotions and what's going on in your own life to be concerned to the point that you're carrying other people's emotions and weight with you as well. So drop emotional exhaustion from constantly nurturing others. Take care of yourself, fill your own cup first, and make sure that you are okay, that you have that mental and emotional fortitude to go forward and to work with yourself and your own energies before you can help and aid others in their journey. And make sure, once again, you have those boundaries up and you know what they are. You can do some boundary work, some protection work, carrying stones with you. Like today, by chance, this is funny. This is obsidian. Obsidian is a very protective stone, very grounding boundary stone. So even I had no idea that this card was going to come up this way. So this is an incredibly protective stone. So make sure you have stuff like hematite and obsidian around you that helps you ground out and set up that protective shield around you as well. Stop hiding your own needs while caring for everyone else. And that is a really big one because, if you're constantly telling everyone that you're okay, but you're not okay, you are not living in your authentic state. You're not standing your own ground, and you're not living and admitting to who you actually are. So you can't possibly help others and give to others and aid others in your family, job, whatever you're supposed to do, when you can't admit to yourself that you are having problems, issues, and are possibly knocked out of your own sense of homeostasis and are in a state of stasis, not homeostasis. So homeostasis is that state of balance, that balance level. If you can picture the scales adjusted, Libra, that's that balance state is homeostasis, which is in the healing arts also what we try to bring our bodies back to, our brains, the balance between the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland. The hypothalamus is a bridge between the endocrine system and the nervous system. So what we try to do is get that to a balance point, get that to a solid balance point so that your body is in that state of rest, repair, restore, and an equal balance. So this is about finding methods and ways of bringing that balance back to yourself too. And it could be just taking a couple moments out for yourself or doing a small little meditation or something, just to bring yourself into that balance point and back to that rooted groundedness that you need. See her dress there, it's red. So there is that rooted groundedness that needs to happen even though she is in water. The balance point of this is an extremely healing card. The out of balance is asking you to heal yourself before you heal others. So it's like the typical healer, heal thyself. So allow yourself to have these emotional boundaries without that burden of guilt. It's okay to say no. I have a friend who extends herself. And one of the things I told her 2 years ago is that you're going to say no in November. So it's say no November. And she was saying the other day, a couple weeks ago, that she felt really tapped out and overcommitted again. And I said, well, maybe it should be say maybe may. Don't commit to things you can't actually follow through on, and that you don't have the emotional fortitude to do it, the emotional drive, or the emotional balance, because you're going to end up with this being knocked out of balance. You could end up being sick. You could be emotionally off. So allow yourself your emotional boundaries without that guilt today. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, sensitivity is a gift. You're not meant to carry the emotions of the ocean for everyone that's around you. So make sure your little cup is full before you try to swim in the ocean of others' emotion. So what are we letting grow today? And that is the Ace of Cups, which is also a water element. So we're going to grow emotional renewal and self-love today. So as you're setting up those boundaries and taking that step back for yourself to make sure you're balanced, you're going to come into a state of self-love and self-compassion and turn that love inward on you. So you might want to look at doing meditation on self-love and compassion for yourself. Take a couple minutes out and have gratitude for you, how far you've come on your own journey, what you're bringing to the table for yourself, your family, and give yourself the praise and the time out that you deserve emotionally. Open yourself up to healing and vulnerabilities and allow that heart to receive as much as it gives. So you can see the cup there in the bowl, the heart in the cup bowl. It's overflowing. There's energy sparking out all over the place. There's that beautiful heart between her hands. So this is asking you to come into that heart space and give yourself that love. She's dressed in blue, so that is not only a symbol of water, but it's also a symbol of communication. So today's communication is going to be with yourself, and that is that self-gratitude and love. Take that time out today to really touch base with how far, again, you've come on your own journey, but that journey of self-love and self-appreciation, once again, you can't pour from the empty cup. So let new emotional beginnings enter your life, become that balanced, and allow emotions that you might not actually be used to start surfacing and coming up. And what emotions am I talking about? Peace, love, joy, gratitude, calmness. These are the things that you need to cultivate for you. You're not going to wake up someday and all of a sudden somebody's going to hand you peace. Think of it, I just saw the strength, or the King of Wands card with the king holding the wand and the line behind him. He doesn't have to worry about that line because he's in his own strength. He's commanding. He is standing in his own power. So that's solar plexus energy. But you have to take that peace for yourself. You have to take the time out to have compassion for yourself. And you have to guard this with your emotions and with your life. Your own peace is paramount to your healing, because if you can't find peace in your own home, in your own existence, in everything that's around you, and create those boundaries, you're never going to find that self-love and that emotional connection with you to then share with others and aid others. So let the new emotional beginnings enter your life now. And be aware of them, those little sparks of joy popping up all around the edges of the cups there. You can see them, and she's holding that. The cup overfloweth. So she's got the self-love. She's got that halo coming in there at her heart center. So she's able now to give a little bit back to others because she realizes her own existence means means the world to her. Reconnect with intuition and that spiritual flow. Water tends to hold a lot of memory, a lot of emotion, and a lot of information. So intuitively, the moon card, that's one of the big intuitive cards in the tarot. That is about that opening up to intuition and messages. So know that the messages can come in for you. Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer, this heart-opening energy. Ace of Cups reminds you that emotional healing begins when you stop abandoning yourself. So stick up for you. You're the only you've got. So release the emotional exhaustion and depletion today. Set up those boundaries for yourself. And then grow emotional renewal. Your heart deserves the same tenderness that you can offer everyone else. I often said, when you have those negative looping thoughts, would you ever say that to your best friend? So you are your own best friend in this situation. So check yourself emotionally on what you're saying to yourself as well. Water signs, where are you emotionally exhausted from giving way too much of yourself? And what would happen if you finally poured some love back into yourself and into your own life? And that is the reading today. Today I am using Beyond Lemuria from Izzy Ivy. It's a very, very super cool deck. I love it. There's a lot of light language and stuff in it. I'm not one who speaks light language. I don't understand it a whole lot. But for those who do it, it's a very interesting modality and ability. Just not one in my wheelhouse, so to speak. And there we go. What are you? Oh, two stuck together. There we go. And we have loving compassion. So that fits perfectly with the reading today. So this is loving compassion for all beings, all people in your life. But most importantly, the loving compassion has to start with you first. As you back this card up, I see this almost as an angel in there. And the holding the vessel, a lot of blue as well for emotions. This is an absolutely, once again, beautiful deck. Absolutely love it. So, loving compassion for everything in your space today. My cats are going crazy, so loving compassion for what they're going through right now. For yourself, for your friends and family, for your coworkers, if that is your jam. But most importantly, yourself today first. Set up those boundaries and love yours first. So have a good day, and I might have time to do some readings over the weekend. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.